Good morning YouTube, so I'm back here with another video, and today we're taking a look at a hero build here, or at least a hero preview of Jubei, a newest hero to come to InfiniteMagicraid, and he got released yesterday. I haven't made a video on him yet. I did do a preview video on his skills, I think, and he looks very nice and very interesting. Let's just talk about the artwork first here. I like to just spend 10 seconds on that because the developers, the artwork guys are putting some time and effort into these, right? So let's talk about it. I think he looks very nice. It's good that we get some male characters as well, and this guy, he just looks insane with the scar in the eye. I like that one. I like the look. Very nice. Okay, so let's take a look at his abilities here. First of all, he is from the Sword Harbor faction. He's an attack based hero. He's a red mark, and yes, he got these tags here. So of these here, the important ones are severe wound, eternal injury, and attribute steal is very important also. Let's take a look. So the basic attack here is a severe wound application. It says it guarantees to inflict a severe wound, so no effect hit needed for this one here. You will need this effect for both Liuli and for purgatory internal injury, so that is very nice to have that as a guarantee. Other than that, not really anything to talk about. Now the S2 here, his first skill on a 4-turn cooldown, and it's removing all buffs from the main target, so only one target, and inflict mastery rest down on them for 2 turns. So unfortunately, it's not an AoE ability, it's just a single target, but it does do some mastery rest down by 50% on the target, which is kind of huge, especially for boss damage in PvE, right? Other than that, after all, he is doing an AoE attack with eternal injury damage of 200 and, well, 300% actually. Internal injury damage. Very nice. We're gonna go to the exclusive later, but let's just finish reading the stuff here. Now the passive here is very easy to understand also. Every time someone is launching a basic attack or casting the skills against him, he's going to steal mastery from them. It doesn't work on bosses, so this is primarily for the steal attribute tag in PvP that they are trying to force into our game now. And he steals some mastery here, and he has a cap of 25% of that stolen mastery. So he's just adding some mastery to himself, making himself stronger and making the enemy do less damage, okay? Now the important part here, and the quite interesting part, is at the beginning of each wave, inflicts moon shadow on the enemy with the highest initial attack. Does not have a duration, it's an infinite duration it looks like. Moon Shadow is considered a taunt, which means that the target he puts it on has to attack this guy here. So like the AI, if you're doing auto or if you're doing manual, well, you can only target him, but you can still do AoE abilities. You just have to target Jubei. So taunt is not the strongest CC in the game. There are more strong stuff like imprison or like some of the other things, right? Provoke maybe, where you can only use your basic attack. But the taunt thing is still good. Okay, it's still good. So let's take a look at the skill 4 here. Deals 6 stages of damage here. Each stage deals 100% internal injury damage and inflicts additional damage by 10% times and multiplied by the target shield value. Very nice. And then also each stage of that damage is ignoring shield, and it cannot exceed 100% of self attack. So you want to build him with a lot of attack, which is good. Meanwhile, when 1, 2, 3 or 4 allies with the internal injury tag are deployed, excluding himself, increases the damage dealt by this skill to bosses by 300%. So in Liuli, Purgatory and other stuff, other places like that, Planar Rift maybe, you are doing 300% extra damage here, which is, yeah, well, it's going to be hard hitting, right? It's already doing a lot of damage, like 600% internal injury damage. Time that by 300% and you have a lot of damage, okay? Let's take a look at his exclusive real quick here. So the exclusive one here, he will gain a Soul of Sword, and he's gonna get it when anyone's turn ends actually. So if someone is faster than him in PvP, or actually in PvE as well, because it's your allies as well, at the end of anyone's turn. So it's both enemies and allies, I would guess. And then it says when an ally steals attributes from enemies, this effect can only be triggered once in a turn, okay? And when Soul of Sword is stacked to 10 layers, Jubei casts sword fighting to pursue and attack once, which also steals 15% turn meter. And sword fighting is this one actually. So it's gonna cast the S2 S2, he's gonna cast it like automatically. That is very nice. Okay, very nice. Does it say that it doesn't say that it resets, but so I'm assuming that it can just, I don't know, keep stacking. We'll see. Let me test him. Okay. Now the exclusive 2 is let's take a look at it. It's the immunity. Yes, at the beginning of each wave and self turns. This is very important, okay, because it means that every time he's taking a turn, he's actually going to be CC immune. So Jubei gains Evil Purge, immune to control effect once. It's only 1 CC though, right? So if you have more CC on the enemy team in arena, then he can only remove the first one. For every 2 allies with the attribute Steel Tag deployed though, gains 1 extra attempt to be immune to control effects, so a full team he'll get 2 more attempts, so he can remove up to 3 CC abilities, right? And he's just gonna do it every time he takes a turn, then so he's pretty much perma-immune to up to 3 CC attempts per turn, right? If it makes sense. Skingrade Yurui. That's hard to say, bro. Ignores damage res, that's his S4, damage res, and self gains Heart of Sword, increasing attack by 5% up to 20 layers after casting that ability. So basically, you cast the S4 as many times as possible. He will actually go to 100% extra attack. That is a lot. 100% extra attack is a lot. He is going to hit very, very hard in PvE on bosses. Very, very hard. He also ignores all damage risk, so that's very nice in PvP. Doesn't matter if the enemy has a Moonjing or a Nikki or like damage risk from talents or emblems. Doesn't matter, he's going to ignore it with his S4. So he'll hit very hard, and he looks like he's going to be a staple in the attribute steel team for PvP that we will have soon. For every 1 ally with the internal injury tag deployed, increases all allies' internal injury damage by 6%, so 30% in total. If there is an enemy with Moon Shadow, Jubei casts the Wind Slash, that's his basic attack, to pursue and attack them once when self-turn starts, and refreshes the cooldown of Skingrade Rui. Okay, so basically in PvP, if you have the Moon Shadow, the taunt thing on someone, and when he starts his turn, he's going to do it, then he's going to refresh, or he's actually going to refresh his S4 ability, so you can just spam the S4 in PvP. That sounds kind of crazy, right? When the enemy with Moon Shadow is killed, Jubei casts Sword Fighting, that is S2, to pursue and attack the remaining enemies once. Okay, so sounds amazing. Let's just take a look at his Echo real quick here, because we also have the Echo now in the game. So let's just take a look at it, just to add it in here. If the owner is from Sword Harbor Guards, he is, increases self-turn meter by up to 10% each time they're immune to control effects. Up to 3 times can be triggered before up to the next turn. So in a full team, he can gain up to 30% turn meter actually from just people trying to apply CC to him. So that is kind of good. And then number 2 here, after casting skills proactively each time, gains 1 layer of Bushido, increases skill damage by up to 12% here to 6 layers. So that's actually 72% skill damage, guys. 72% skill damage. Let that sink in. It's not an LTE, this guy. He's just a normal, regular, like very strong internal injury dude, okay? So basically his exclusive 3 is going to give him 100% attack. And this Echo here, if you have it at 5-star, is going to give him 72% skill damage. And he's going to be spamming his S4 in PvP as well. So you don't want him to, like, I'm assuming in PvP you want to try kill him fast, because if this guy can survive for a few turns, he's gonna hit very hard. He's gonna hit very, very, very hard on anyone that is not immune to dot damage. He's gonna obliterate them. So obviously he's not gonna be strong against Marine teams, but I think any other teams he is just gonna be obliterating them after a time. If you wanna. If you make him get to stacking that S4 there, he's gonna kill someone. For sure, for sure. Anyways, guys, so now that we've gone through the skill set of him, I thought it could be funny to test him. And as a OD to one of our content creators here that just quit the game this week here, we are going to go into trial mode here and try him out in trial mode, because that is what Gandalf used to do, right? Trial mode, and basing his opinions on that. So we're going to do the same here today, at least for now. We are going to do it in try mode just to see how he stacks up. Now in try mode here, there are one big issue. We cannot test the boss damage multiplier that he has in his kit. So obviously whatever results we have here is not really relevant for PvE or PvP. So what I want to do in a minute here is just try and get him, like, I want to see what he does, okay? And then I have a specific team in mind that I think he might be part of being a counter to, okay? But let me just set it up here, guys. I'm gonna import my heroes on both sides here. I'm gonna sync my stats, and then so it's gonna be my team on both sides, okay? I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back here with the teams, and on both sides is the classic arena team that I'm using, and both defense and offense at the moment. I've synced it with my stats, and I made the enemy Apsara 2 speed lower than my attacking one, because then I get to go first. If you are at the exact same speed as the defense team or the defender, then the defender goes first, okay? So anyways, I've put Jubei in here instead of Erato. He is exclusive 0 at the moment. I gave him some stats. You can see the stats here. Let me just show you here. 60k and tank is pretty normal for my account, and 45k defense, 650k HP. So nothing quite overpowered, right? 80% affected, and then I tried to like give him a Devour set. Now you can see here my Marie is like at 67k attack, right? So it's not it's not something completely crazy like 100k attack or something. Okay, let's see what he can do first of all here at exclusive 0. Now my imagining is actually that he's going to be a part of the steel attribute team, and he will be a counter to the CC team, but I will show you later. But just to get a grip of like what he can do here, I want to see how much like damage and stuff like that. Well, how does he work? What is his animations like? All of that. So let's just like try and pretend that we are doing a normal fight here. I also gave him a 2300 speed, which is on the low end obviously, but we just want to try him out. Okay, so let's see here if he can do anything. Obviously Erato will help the other team survive, so I just want to see like in this first test here how it looks. So let's see his animations. I haven't seen them yet. We're gonna start out with the skin gauge Yurui thing here, and obviously the enemies here are immune to dot damage, so he's not gonna do any damage at all. But let's just see how it looks. Okay, pretty nice animation. Pretty nice animation. Let's see, like, he doesn't really have any pursue and attack and shit like that, so let's just see here what happens. And in a minute I'm probably gonna die because of the big burst that my team does. Yeah, it's not gonna work, is it? Okay, yeah, so let's just pause it here. Now I want to see him in a team with an attribute steel team, and then I put my CC team on the other end, because I think that is where like the intention is that he's going to be used. Let's see. Okay, so I'm back here, and right off the bat Lydia is like gonna start and proc Rato and Reina and Tyrell. Now I've put my CC team in on the other team in the opponent's side, but apparently I'm already dead here, so I'm just gonna do a change in the team lineup here. Obviously you can see here that defensively it's still not strong enough, so let's try to tamper a bit. Okay, I'm back again. Now I've put Nikki into this team here, and I'm not sure why is her E3 not proccing. Okay, I'm back again. Sorry about that. Now it works for some reason. We have this stuff going on here with Nikki. I'm not too sure what was going on before, but anyways, now we are taking a look at here. We finally got our turn right. So this is the team that I would imagine like is a CC counter in the future. Well, not this team here, obviously we're gonna get other heroes, right? But something like this. So we have Kalana here, who is the key here. She got very good passives. I've given Vasily here the highest attack, so he gets the CC immunity from Kalana exclusive 3, because he is not CC immune himself. You can see that the Jubei is also CC immune. And then we have Nikki, she is CC immune, and the only one not CC immune at the moment is Morikis, who I would obviously replace with someone else. Now in this team here, I don't really want to use Nikki. I kind of like her in the other teams, but maybe we have to move her at some point. We'll see what happens in the future, right? But I think this team here could be very strong against something like the CC team here, because we have so many CC immunities and we are stealing mastery, we are stealing speed, we're stealing a lot of stuff, right? So let's just see here, and we're also cleansing buffs and debuffs with the Kalana, and everyone is CC immune. So now let's see here how much damage he does here. We're going to target, I think, we want to kill that Giselle, right? So let's see. Oh, we got a taunt on someone. Okay, she's provoked me. Yeah, let's see how hard she hits. Okay, so not that strong. And I have like 60k attack and 150. But we also talked about that he needs a bit of ramp up. So maybe that's just it, right? He needs a bit of ramp up here. But let's see here what happens here. Now we have this guy again here, and we are removing a lot of speed, I think, on the enemies here. Yeah. And remember that in Trial Arena, guys, there are no pets, there are no auras, and a lot of stuff isn't here. I don't even think we have the Arcane Gems and stuff like that. So that is why you should never ever base anything off Trial mode, okay? Never. No matter what everyone else tells you, never base it on Trial mode alone, okay? Let's see what we can do here. Vasily is making a lot of damage here. Holy crap, man, I need that Vasily. Okay, let's see the S2 here. This is the S2. Let's see what it can do. Mastery rest down also. Okay. Cool animation, but didn't do much. Yes. Have to remember that CC team, on the other hand, on the other side of the fence here, actually quite strong. I use it in my championship battles against some of the big Krakens, and I sometimes wins. So it's not a weak team, okay? Let's say that it's not a weak team. So I just want to showcase that the result here actually doesn't really matter too much for me. What I want to showcase is my thought about the direction that they want this attribute steal team to go, because of all the CC immunities and stuff like that that's baked in, right? It's something like this here. Obviously, if we get an LTE or we get a mythic hero with some attribute steal tag as well, that can do a lot of stuff that some of these guys can't do, then obviously this team here will be even stronger, right? So this is just to show you like what I think is the plan from the developer side, like what the intentions are with all this CC immunity and steel tag, steel attribute thing and stuff like that, right? It is to counter something like the CC team. It's for people who needs a team that can counter something like the CC team. That is the intention, I'm pretty sure. So, but you get the drift, right? You get the drift here. So I think, let's see if it did any damage. I don't think we have. Well, we have Elise. She's doing some damage reduction on dots, but everyone here is doing dot damage anyway, so it's not really a issue, right? I think if anything, Vasily here is doing a lot of damage. Okay, so here we can see the damage, and let's just take a look here. So based on this here, and obviously he's E5 now because I just ramped up the stats, it didn't matter. He has only 60k attack and 150% mastery. Vasily had like the same, but 70k attack. And then the other guys have the actual stats of my account, right? So I think it's pretty fair to say that he will be kinda not as strong as Vasily is in bleed damage, but he will be very strong, I think, in eternal injury tags, especially for PvE, because he's going to ramp up his damage over time with his echo and with his exclusive tree, and at some point he will hit very hard on bosses. You have to remember, on bosses that are a 300% multiplier as well. And actually we can see that he has been used here in, I think it was Planar Rift already here. If you go here, obviously this is weak, the biggest Kraken in the game at the moment and the strongest player. And you can see here he's using him at exclusive 0 to actually beat the internal force rift. Okay, so I think that shows that this hero here is very, very strong. If you can put this guy in at exclusive 0 and you can complete all of this here, and you can see that the next big like Kraken, Spark is a huge Kraken as well, and he's like 70 levels below what this guy can do, okay? And he's using a Xiao Jun, so you can see definitely Jubei is gonna be very strong, okay? And I think in The Liuli boss here, obviously we will see it in a few days here, but you can see here that, is it this one? Yeah. He's definitely gonna replace Xiao Jun in the future, because he brings the severe wound buff, he brings the damage, but he also brings the mastery risk down, which is quite huge. It's very nice, right? And in his exclusives, he has the 30% extra internal injury damage to boost Indra and help the team overall, yes? So I think Xiao Jun is definitely out, Jubei is in, and this team here will be able to do much more damage. Alright guys, that's it for now, that's it for Jubei. Yeah, I don't know if you're gonna pull him or not, but just be advised that if you're watching this video right now in 2025, 7th of June, in 2 weeks, the next one will be a limited hero, so you probably don't want to pull for him. But if you get him in the future, very strong character, and congratulations. Have a nice morning guys, cheers, bye.